channel. Today I'm going to be working with Applique embroidery, so I can't wait to start. I'm going to be using my single needle embroidery machine. So guys, let's go at it. Okay guys, we are here using Embroidery Essentials. This tutorial is mostly for those who are new to Applique embroidery. So I use Embroidery Essential for everything that has to do with embroidery. This is what I use to make all my designs in embroidery. So, okay, the first thing is that this is the file that I'm going to be using. This is not my design. This is the file that I got from Etsy. And I added this right here. It only came with the USA, and then I added a EST 1776. And so let me show you what I'm going to be doing. In every applique embroidery, you're going to have 3 steps. The first step is applique position. The second step is applique material, and then the third step is the tag down. So in order for me to identify that on my group of colors, these are the thread colors that I'm going to be using on this design. The first one also is going to be the applique position. And the applique position is going to tell me where is it that I'm going to be placing my fabric, okay, the applique fabric. Fabric, vinyl, whatever you use for your project. In this case, I'm going to be using fabric. This applies only on Embroidery software, okay? I don't know how is it on other software, but for Embroidery, this is how you determine which color is for which step, okay? The first one always gonna be the applique position. I'm gonna right click and you're gonna see, or it said applique position, okay? The first one is gonna embroider an outline on the fabric. And that outline, you're going to use it to place your fabric and make sure that your fabric is going to cover all the areas on your outline, okay? It's going to be embroidering a line. And then the second step right here, or the second color, is going to be the applique material. So you're going to right click and it says applique material. That means that the machine is going to stop after the first color, okay? And this is for single needle embroidery machines, right? Every single needle is going to stop after a change of colors. That's why you have to make sure that you pick a different color for the steps, because if you put all the same colors, the single needle embroidery machine is not going to stop. It's going to keep embroidering, and you're not going to have a chance to apply your fabric. So this second step is for you to apply the fabric. That's why it says applique material. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to apply your fabric on top of the outline, okay? And then you're going to restart your machine. The machine is going to go ahead and it's going to go to the tag down, okay? So this right here, this pink color is going to be your tag down. It's going to embroider on top of the fabric. In this particular design, the Digitash decided to do 2 applique material right here. Okay, for some reason, I don't know why it gave 2 colors. Even it says position, but it's not position. What it did was, I'm sorry, is that it gave me 2 tag downs, one in pink and one in white. The third color is gonna be the satin stitch, okay? After you do the tag down, you're gonna remove your hook and you're gonna cut all the excess fabric around of the design, okay? And then once you are cutting all the excess fabric, you're gonna place the hook back into the embroidery machine. And then the red color is gonna be, sorry, I keep clicking that. The red color is gonna be the satin stitch, okay? And of course, on a single needle machine, you know that you have to stop. The machine is gonna stop and you have to change thread colors. So then the machine is gonna stop, you're gonna switch to the white thread again, and it's gonna embroider the bows. And then the machine is gonna stop, you're gonna switch colors again, and you're gonna embroider the phrase or the font right here, okay? Now, I'm gonna go to the simulator and I'm gonna demonstrate this, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make it bigger so you can see it better, right, for the simulation. Right here. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the applique position. It's gonna embroider an outline, the area where I'm gonna be placing the fabric. It's gonna stop the machine. You're gonna switch it to the pink color, okay? And then you're gonna place the fabric on top of your outline. And then once you do that, it's gonna tack it down. In other words, it's gonna secure the fabric in place. And for some reason, this digitizer decided that it's gonna do a second tack down. So it's gonna go ahead and do it in white. Again, it's all tacked down. Once you do with all the white thread, which is a tack down, you're gonna remove, you're gonna remove, I just went back by mistake. Okay. You're gonna remove your hoop. You're gonna trim the whole thing all the way around. Trim it, cut all the centers, everything. You're gonna remove that fabric by cutting it all around it. Okay. And then once you've done that, you're gonna replace the hoop back to the machine and it's gonna start embroidering the satin stitch. This is a satin stitch all the way around. It's gonna do the satin stitch. At this point, what you're gonna do is you're gonna then do straight embroidery. The part of the applique is already done, or you're gonna then do embroidery the last two colors, which are the bow and the font, which says EST 1776. Okay, you're gonna switch the color of the thread, and it's gonna do the bow, and then it's gonna do the EST, the one in the bottom. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna meet you at the craft table. See you over there, guys. All right, guys, so we are here at the table. This is the cutout of the design that I show you, that I print on my sheets from Embroidery Essentials. This is going to be the fabric that I'm going to be using. This is a cotton fabric. I got this from Michael's. The Michael's on my area sells fabric, so I got this fabric. I cut enough to cover the design when it's time to place it on top of the embroidery field. This is the Heat and Bond Light. This is the package that it comes. This is a purple color. It says Heat and Bond Light. Heat and Bond has several fabric depending on the project that you're going to do. So the one that is for the light projects, which are for embroidering, it's a purple color package, and it comes in a smaller package. This lasts a long time. I mean, I bought this, I think, the last year. It's a big roll. Then I'm going to be using cutaway stabilizer right here. All right. Let me see what else. I'm going to be using temporary adhesive spray because I am going to hoop my item. I am not going to be floating it. Even if you're going to float, you need the temporary adhesive spray. In my case, I am going to hoop the shirt. This is the thread that I'm going to be using. It's 3 colors. It's going to be the liquid gold, white, and red. Let me see what else. I'm going to be using my mini heat press right here because I'm going to use that to adhere the heat and bond to the fabric. All right, and this is the hoop that I'm going to be using. This hoop is a 8 by 11, and I'm going to be using my Poolin EOC06 right here, or EOC06, either way. All right, so I'm going to be using this hoop. I'm going to go ahead, and for those who are new to embroidery and have never worked on applique before, you need to use heat and bond on the fabric, because once you place this fabric on the shirt, the heat and bond is going to allow me at the end to iron the applique, and this fabric is going to adhere completely to the shirt. If you don't use heat and bond, the problem is that you're going to embroider the fabric onto the shirt, you're going to do everything, and at the end, your project is finished. But when you're gonna wash, when you go and place this item to the washing machine, it's gonna start bubbling up because the fabric is not adhered to the shirt. It's only been embroidered on top, and these empty spaces right here from this design is loose. The fabric is going to be loose and it's going to bubble up. So that's why you need to use some kind of adhesive paper to adhere to the shirt. The only brand that I know is Heat and Bond Light. I'm not sure if there's another brand that do the same thing. The only one that I know is the Heat and Bond Light. If you know of any other brand that does the same thing, please let me know, because I always like to try new things and we can bring it to the channel and test it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna iron this to the fabric. Wrong side is gonna face me. Let me move this here, it's hot. Okay, and I like cutting it a little bit smaller because I don't like the glue to get stuck to the mat, the heat mat that I use. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna trim it a little bit shorter. I'm looking for some scissors in here. So I noticed that I had some leftover in here, so I'm gonna get rid of it because, like I said, this part of the heat and bond has the glue on it. So when you try to do this, if you have extra, the glue is gonna transfer here. So you're gonna put your fabric towards the wrong side facing you, and the heat and bond, you're gonna feel it has little like bubbles in the back. That's the glue. That one is gonna face the fabric, okay? Right here, like that. I also want to let you know that I usually cut my fabric a little bit larger than the design. I always have leftover size. If you notice, there is leftover fabric on the back. I'd rather have it that way, and that way I'll assure that all my design is gonna be covered by the heat and bond. So I always tend to cut a little bit larger, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and iron it. You're gonna iron it for a couple of seconds. I will say I usually do it for about 10-15 seconds. It doesn't take too long for it to get stuck to the fabric. All right, and then no particular temperature. I didn't even change the setting on my press. Okay, and then you're gonna let it cool. I'm gonna let it cool. Once I let it cool, then I peel the backing of the heat and bond. Listen, not too long ago, I did this for a design that I was embroidering, and I completely forgot to remove the backing. And this was a very small applique, so it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't this big. It was like a little thing that I was doing. And when I was embroidering, I already went through the tack down and everything. I felt that the fabric was hard. It's because I forgot to remove the backing of the heat and bond. So that's what happened to me. So if it happens to you, don't feel bad. It happens, even to the best of us, okay? Yeah. So I'm letting it cool. I'm gonna turn off my heat press. If you wanna know about this heat press, I like it because it's larger than the Cricut, but smaller than the Cricut 6x8. So it's just the perfect size. I got this from Amazon. The link for this is gonna be down on the description box. You can look for it over there. I think the name is I don't remember the brand name. It used to be right here. I always forget the brand. It's Legooin, or Legooin. It is amazing. You can go ahead and get the link to it down on my description box, okay? And it's nice because you can specifically, choose the temperature that you want to set it on. It's very similar to the big screen from the Cricut. And you start it, temperature, time, and start. It's very easy. Okay, so this should be cooling off. And I'm showing this for those, again, who are new to embroidery, okay? And then you're gonna go ahead and you're going to remove it. And if you notice, it's kind of shiny right here. That's the glue, okay? So that's all I needed to do. The next thing for me to do is to hoop the shirt. I'm gonna clear the table so that we can start doing the hooping of the shirt, okay? See you in a little bit, people. Okay, guys, so I'm here with the shirt. I already marked the height where I want the design to start. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply my cutaway stabilizer behind the shirt. Okay, You've seen me done this before. I think I released a video last week where I did that shirt that I went through the whole process. I'm gonna do it again in case you didn't saw that video and you are new to the embroidery world. All right. I am turning my shirt inside out because I'm gonna hoop my shirt the regular way, okay? I like showing this for those who are beginners because I mean, it's good if you learn how to do it this way before you order the magnetic hoop or before you do floating, because it's not that difficult, people. I've done every way, every style of hooping, and I am used to do it this way as well. Because I am going to use a single embroidery machine, and I had to roll up the shirt and make sure that the shirt is not going to shift. I like hooping it this way as opposed to floating. If the item would have been a smaller item, I will float the item. But in this case, I'd rather do it this way, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to try to cover the area that I'm going to embroider. And I know my dot is back here down this way. It's going to start around here. So I want to make sure that I'm going to be above the dot that I place in there. So I usually I'll place it this way, high in here. And I know I'm going to be covered. The dot is in here. Let me see, right here. The dot is right here. So this is going to cover my design. So I know I'm good. Right now, every time I cut my stabilizer, I tend to cut it too long or wide. So I'm gonna trim it a little bit. It's gonna be easier for me later on. So I'm gonna place the hook to make sure that I'm gonna have enough hang. And okay. The height of this stabilizer is a bit shorter, but I think I'm gonna be okay once I hoop it. This is a 10 inches height stabilizer. That's what the package said. It's a little bit short to me. There sells other ones that are 12. I think I'm gonna order, actually I do have the high one. I'm gonna show it to you guys so that you can see what I'm talking about. I might use this one for this hoop. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna be using this one for this hoop and then use this one for a project that doesn't require a large hoop. Yeah, that way I'll be safe that the stabilizer is not going to move. Okay, these items also, I have them listed on my description box, the link. You can order from my link. I get a percentage of the sale on my storefront if you go to the link, and that helps the channel a lot because yeah. Yeah. So let me cut this off. Always the first part I put this tape in it, and then it messed up the first part of it. I don't know why it does. So there's a little bit of waste right there, but this one is stuck to this right here, completely stuck. You see the tape? It happens all the time with this brand, but the brand is good. I like this brand. I've been using this brand, I think, since I started embroidering. Yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of this extra right here, and I'm gonna cut enough to cover the area. Okay. I always use my hook as a measurement. So let's start all over again. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray.
place it here. You see this is taller? I don't know why, and when I ordered the other one, I ordered a big roll. It was on sale. I ordered a big roll and I didn't realize that it was shorter. Even though the hoop embroidery area is 8 inches, when it comes to the hoop itself, it's a little bit taller, you know, because that's the way it is. So yeah, so it's always good to order the 12 inches in height. That way you can use it for all your products. Now the other one that I got, I think I'm gonna just use it for smaller items, when I embroider smaller items. Okay, so I wanna make sure this is good, this is good, this is perfect, people. So now that I have it here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn it right side out, and then we're gonna start with the hooping process, okay? Make sure that the front is flat, completely flat. You're gonna stretch it so that you don't see any wrinkle, don't wrinkles in the embroidery field, okay? Or embroidery area, all right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place, I have such a mess. I am a very tidy person, and when I see messes around me, I don't like it. So I need to pick up right away, otherwise I don't know, that's me. I'm picky that way. I don't like to be working with stuff around me that I'm not using. So I just clear the table again. I don't need this anymore, the temporary adhesive spray. For those who are new to embroidery, this is a brand that I use, but I have used other brands from Amazon, Walmart, have a good one. There are a couple of them over there. So you don't have to buy this brand. I got this brand, again, a while ago. It lasts a lot. I got the big one. So yeah, you can use any other brand. You don't have to buy this one necessarily, okay? They're all good to me. As long as I say temporary adhesive for fabrics, you're good, all right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and place the hoop under, which is this one right here, the one that you're gonna adjust, okay? You're gonna place it under. I'm gonna place this on the top because in the embroidery machine, this is gonna go like this, okay? This is the neck of the machine and this is the outside of the machine. That way I don't have all this extra inside the machine. You'll see what I mean when I go to the embroidery machine. You'll see, okay, what I mean when I say that. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna place it inside. Make sure that the stabilizer is on top of the hoop, okay? I'm ensuring that the stabilizer is placed on top of the hoop. Once I'm sure that it is, then I'm gonna position by feel. I'm feeling the hoop. I'm gonna position it, and then I'm gonna straighten it out later on. But first, I'm gonna make sure that I here, with my both hands, I have 3 fingers here. That means that it's too much to the right. I have 3 fingers. I know the sideways is in the right place. You notice the dot is on the, you don't notice probably because this is a dark fabric, but this shirt came already folded and I can see the folding line. That's what I use for my middle of the shirt. So right now the hoop, I can tell the paper is crooked, it's not helping. But the middle of the hoop is where this button is, right here. So I'm right in the middle of the hoop, and I verify by doing this. I am framing with my fingers the frame, and I can see it's there. Now I want to make sure that it's straight. So what I do, this is what I do. Maybe you can do it any other way. What I do is that I use my mat. This mat has this lining here, the lines of the mat. I flushed the hoop to one of the lines, or the horizontal lines. And that tells me and helps me to know that I am in position, okay? So let me see if you're in view. I'm gonna use this one right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring the hoop to see that way. And if the hoop is flushed, right now it's not, I'm gonna move it to this way. I'm gonna make sure that it's flushed. Without losing my spacing in here. I'm gonna move the fabric to the top all the way, and I'm gonna push it back and make sure that the frame is on that line. And right now, I'm moving it, and this is the bottom of the frame, and it's perfect in there. Now I'm gonna move it this way again. Let's shift it a little bit. I have enough space for this dot. I'm placing my printout on the spot that I want it, and I have plenty of space in here, so I'm not concerned at all on the space, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm in the center right here, and I'm in the center right there. I have this lining here on the hoop that tells me that that's the center of the hoop, and that's what I'm gonna use to center the dot. All right. Almost there. Here we go. Okay. I'm happy with this. And then what I'm gonna do, once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten here. This is done. I'm gonna go ahead and run to the embroidery machine. Guys, I always forget to do this part. I don't know why. I need to roll up the shirt away from the back. I just automatically say, let's go to the embroidery machine, and I forget that I need to do that part. Anyway, you need to clear the back of the shirt. Okay, you don't want this part being covering this because you're gonna embroider that part. So you wanna make sure that the shirt is gonna be clear from the back. So all you have to do is pull it up above the hoop and away from the back, so that this part is like that, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll up that part. You're gonna roll it, okay? You can use tape, or you can use the thread hovers that I've shown you before. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring some of the thread hovers so that I can show you what I'm talking about. And also I'm gonna be using tape because I don't have that many of this left. So I'm just gonna pull the shirt around, clear it, okay? You just want this area to be clear, okay? And if you notice, I'm gonna place my design right here, which I also forgot to do. This is the center of the hoop. This is the hairline right here. It's gonna point to the center. This is a hairline right here. It's gonna point to the center, okay? And this looks straight to me. And I'm gonna take that part. You know that I always use this to give me a visual on how it's going to look like, okay? This is the top, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to tape it. I don't need this dot anymore. We're done with the dot. looks good. This looks good. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use painter's tape. I'm gonna go ahead and meet you at the embroidery table, okay? All right, I already placed the hook on the machine. I traced it and everything looks good. I have all the colors in order and I am following my printout that I got from Embroidery to place the colors on the screen. So right now the colors on the screens are the same one or similar to this one. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. I don't need it anymore. Let me lower the foot of the embroidery machine and let's get started. I'm gonna go ready and I'm gonna start. You notice that's the dark pink color, which is giving me the tracing for the design. Okay, so that's the part of the tracing. If you notice on the screen, it's telling me that the next color is the light pink. I'm gonna move the camera lower so that you can see a little bit better. Okay, yeah, and let me put it up a little bit. So yeah, here on the screen, I have from the dark pink, it's telling me to go to the light pink. I'm gonna say okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch the thread and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and gonna place the fabric. So this is the placement. Now I'm gonna place the fabric. I think I'm gonna trim it a little bit. I can use this remnants for any other project. It already has the glue, so I can go ahead and use it for something else, which I will. Okay. Make sure that you have everything covered. Nothing is left out of the framing, okay? Okay, so now I'm gonna lower the foot and I'm gonna go ahead and press start. And it should give me the same outline with a lighter color thread. Make sure that the fabric is completely flat. You don't want any gaps, anything, okay? Don't place your hand close to the needle. Lift up, let it go. Okay? You don't want your hand close to the needle. Okay? This is what I use sometimes to do that, and that way, you know, my hands are not close to the fabric at all. I get this from the Chinese restaurant. Sometimes I ask them for extra ones and I keep them just for this purpose. Okay. So this is a very simple design for those who are starting on doing applique or working on applique. Okay. So now that it's finished with this, remember that in this file, the digitizer did 2 passes for the tack down, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and change the thread for the white one. I could have left the same color again because it makes no difference, but for those who are new, I'm gonna go and follow exactly the order of the colors, but the design don't need to do. So the next step is for the white thread right here, okay? Okay, let's press start. Let's get rid of this tail. I got it at the beginning too long, that's why I did that. So. So now I'm gonna go move to the red. It said from the white to the red. And let me just move the camera so you know what I'm talking about. Right here, this machine tells you from the white to the red, and I say okay. That's the machine that I'm gonna start with the next one. And I'm gonna go ahead and rethread everything. Okay. I'm gonna move the frame of the machine. Okay. This is bulky, but this machine, you can lift the foot even higher to clear, okay? So I'm gonna meet you at the table so that we can trim this, all right? So what I'm gonna do now is to trim everything around. I have these three options of scissors. I might be switching back and forth depending on the areas, like this one right here. This one is a very good one as well. All of these scissors are listing down below in my description box. To me, this has been the best so far. There's another one that came with my embroidery machine with the Poolin. It's pretty good as well. I forgot to bring it into the group. This one is very similar to this one. It's a little bit bigger. They're both good. So I'm gonna start with this one, which is the newer one, and see. You're gonna be trimming first big chunks around, and then you go to the more detail of trimming process, okay? I'm gonna place this on fast mode video because it's boring. So I'll see you at the end when I'm done doing all the trimming around, okay? You wanna cut as close as you can to the stitching, but you don't wanna cut the stitches because then everything is gonna come apart. That's why I get rid of all the extra and then I go closer on the second pass, okay? As well, for those who are new, make sure that you don't cut the shirt. So always look in the back, like this way, to make sure that you're not cutting the shirt, okay? There is another scissor that is called the duck scissors. Let me bring it so that you can see it. These are called the duck scissors because of the shape of this. Some people use this as well. I think that this is good for the big chunks like this one. It guards your fabric from the back, or if you do it the other way, it guards the fabric from the front. I use it mostly for the big chunks to make sure that I'm not cutting the garment like this. But for the more detail, I like the smaller one. I use this one mostly when I'm removing the cutaway stabilizer. You're gonna see me using this one, okay? So for now, I'm gonna keep using this one, and I'll see you at the end when I'm done. when you do the satin stitch, you want to make sure that it's clean and no thread or any fabric is left on the outside of the satin stitch. And I have not embroidered this file before, so I don't know how thin or how wide the actual length of the satin stitch is. So just for me to make sure that I'm not going to have any mishaps, I am trimming as close as I can without cutting the thread. That's why at the end, these scissors are the bomb. They're amazing. I love them. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to the embroidery machine. All right. We're going to do the satin stitch and the rest of the design. In other words, we are done with the applique part of it, and we're going to just do the stitching around. Okay. So I'm going to move around and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, guys, so let's get started. So this is going to be a little bit of a long process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on fast mode with a nice background music, and I'll see you at the end once I'm done, all right? Well, guys, this is done. I'm going to remove the frame of the machine. I'm going to clean up the shirts, remove the backing. So the next thing I'm going to do is to iron the applique. I already cleaned the back of the shirt. I trimmed out the colorway stabilizer, and I also snipped some stitches here that were left behind. and it looks nice now. For some reason, the machine didn't want to cut the jump stitches between these two numbers right here. It did it on the whole design, so I don't know if it's something that has to do with this font, but that's what happened, okay? So I'm gonna use my mini press, and I'm gonna apply heat and bond so it will attach it to the shirt. It's just a little bit of heat. You don't have to iron for a long time. It will melt the glue into the shirt, and then you will have a completely flat surface, and you will not have the problem of the applique fabric lifting up. All right. So all we had to do is just pass it. No particular amount of heat. I had it 320, so I left it at that. And you just iron around, okay? Or press it if you have a mini press. And it's not a long time, couple of seconds, people. I didn't even hit start here. Okay? Couple of seconds. That's all you need. You don't want to flatten the design too much either. That should be enough, okay? We're gonna let it cool. Turn this off. We're gonna let it cool, and that should be it, okay? So we are done, guys. Look at how beautiful it came out. Love the colors. This red thread from Richword, I love the shiny color of it, and all the colors are like that. I think, like I said before, I'm gonna order extra color spools because I like the quality of this thread. Perfect red with the navy blue. I have 3 other brands with red color thread, and reds were a little bit darker, so this one is a little bit brighter, which I like because it contrasts with the fabric, which is a darker red. Okay, so this is it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see you in a minute. I'm gonna clean around and we'll talk. All right, see you in a little bit. So guys, this is everything for now. This is the shirt. What do you think? I think it came out amazing. If you have any question about the whole process, go ahead and ask those questions down below on the description box. If you're new to the channel and you like this content, consider subscribing to my channel, The Crafty Puerto Rican. Guys, I will see you soon with new content. Don't forget to click your thumb up on your way out. I will see you soon. I will see you later. Bye. Hasta luego.